If you've ever been in charge of hiring someone, you know that feeling, right? That little knot in your stomach. Because it's so much more than just filling a slot on an org chart. You're picking a new member of your work family. And that fear of making the wrong call, of accidentally letting in someone who could just unravel all the good work you've done, it's real. So today, let's talk about how to turn that anxiety into a really clear, kind, and effective game plan to protect your team. We're all chasing that superstar, aren't we? That one person we think is going to come in and just change the game. And yeah, the data says a superstar can boost profits by about 5 grand. But here's the thing that a Harvard Business School study uncovered, and it's so important. It is way more profitable to avoid hiring a toxic employee than it is to hire a superstar. And that $12,000 cost on the right, that's not just a number on a spreadsheet. It represents the real cost of losing good people who leave because they're miserable, the hit to productivity when everyone's stressed out, and all the time you'll spend playing referee instead of actually leading. And this, right here, is the perfect way to think about it. We have to stop thinking of toxicity as some deep, permanent character flaw. It's much more like a behavior, an infection. And just like a cold, it can spread from one person to another, from one meeting to the next, until your whole team's cultural immune system is just completely shot. This little shift in mindset changes everything. Our goal isn't to judge people, it's simply to protect the health of our environment. So let's really dive into that contagious cost, because it goes so much deeper than the balance sheet. It really gets to the heart of what makes people feel safe and valued and willing to bring their best selves to work every day. Yeah, that $12,000 number, you got to see that as just the very tip of the iceberg. The real cost is quiet. It's almost invisible. It's the fantastic idea that never gets shared because someone is afraid of being shut down. It's that slow, creeping erosion of trust. It's all the energy your best people spend just trying to protect themselves instead of creating and innovating. That is the true hidden price you pay when you let incivility take root. So, the source material shares this powerful story of a hospital that hired a brilliant doctor, but they never looked past his resume. His talent? Undeniable. But his incivility created this horrible ripple effect of misery. And sure, it led to millions in lawsuits, but let's just think about the human cost for a second. Think about the nurse who started questioning her entire career because of how she was treated by him every single day. That's the kind of damage we're really trying to prevent here. Okay, the problem is huge, I get it. But the solution isn't about becoming some kind of hardened interrogator in your interviews. Not at all. It's about becoming a more thoughtful observer. It's about learning to interview not just for what someone can do, but for who they are. So here it is. This is probably the single most important shift you can make. Stop asking, what would you do if? Hypothetical questions just get you a rehearsed theoretical answer that they think you want to hear. Instead, gently ask, tell me about a time when you did. See the difference? The goal isn't to catch them in a lie. It's to open a door to a real story. Because polished answers live in theory, but a person's true character, well, that's revealed in what they've actually done. Think of these questions as tools for uncovering self-awareness and humility. When you ask what a subordinate might say, you're listening for whether they can see themselves from someone else's point of view. When you ask about a time they failed, you're not really interested in the mistake itself. You're listening for the reflection. Did they actually learn something, or did they just blame everyone else? That little difference tells you everything you need to know about their ability to grow. But let's be real. Anyone can prepare good answers. A person's true nature isn't just in their well-rehearsed stories, right? It's in those little unguarded moments. So, How do we see past the performance? You have to watch everything. When they tell their stories, do they take ownership or do they cast blame? And here's the ultimate test, the one that never fails. Pay close attention to how they treat the people they think have no power. The receptionist who greeted them at the door, the assistant who brought them a glass of water. Civility that's only aimed upwards isn't real, it's a strategy. True character is how you treat everyone, no matter who's in the room. The formal interview, it's just one data point. It's one piece of the puzzle. To get the whole picture, you've got to change the environment. And you need to invite a few more perspectives to the table. Honestly, taking a candidate to lunch with the team might be the most valuable hour you spend in the whole hiring process. And don't frame it like a test. Frame it as a mutual discovery. It's their chance to see your culture in action, and it's your team's chance to feel out that human connection. I promise you that 1 hour can tell you more about a person's real fit than 4 rounds of interviews, and it can save everyone a world of heartache down the road. Okay, now for a story with a much better ending. There was another hospital, and they were right on the verge of hiring a doctor. Let's just call him Dirk. He was charming, he was brilliant, he absolutely aced all his interviews. The offer letter was basically ready to go. But one person on the team just had a feeling. Something felt off. Now, this story isn't just about one assistant's amazing intuition. It's about a culture that was healthy enough for her to feel safe speaking up. Because she felt that psychological safety, she quietly did her own digging, and she found this clear, undeniable pattern of Dirk mistreating people who worked for him. So she raised the alarm, the offer was pulled, and a total disaster was avoided. The hero here isn't just the assistant, it's the environment of trust that empowers everyone to be a guardian of the culture. Which brings us to reference checks. Let's stop treating these like a chore we just have to check off a list. Let's start treating them like the valuable conversations they are. Always, always use the phone. An email can't tell you about a hesitant pause. Don't just ask, were they good at their job? Ask, what was it like to work with them on a really tough day? And this is crucial. Use your own network. Don't just call the people they want you to call. Find people who worked for them. That's how you spot the classic kiss up, kick down personality. So we've spent all this time focused on how to evaluate the candidate. But the final, and I think the most important step in this whole process, is to turn that lens back on ourselves. Just let that sink in for a minute. Google found that a candidate's experience with the interviewer often mattered more to them than the job itself. The interview isn't just a one-way evaluation. It is the very first real experience a person has with your company's culture. How you treat them sends the loudest possible message about what your organization truly values. At the end of the day, this whole search for a civil, respectful colleague has to be rooted in your own civility and respect. Every email you send, every conversation you have, even how you handle rejections, it all matters. You are the living, breathing embodiment of your team's culture. If you want to attract kind, collaborative people, you have to lead with kindness and collaboration first. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. A healthy, thriving workplace isn't something you just find. It's something you build, one person and one interaction at a time. And that building process, it starts long before their first day. It starts with their very first contact with you. So how can you make sure that very first hello feels like the beginning of something kind, respectful, and truly great?